Hi Todd Saunders, summer school ecology class. My name's Lisa Zander. I went to college with Mr. Saunders, and I'm here to take you into the field where I work as a field biologist, collecting data on a study that looks at wild bees in post-burned, post-salvage logged, mixed conifer forests in southern Oregon. Right now we're doing a protocol where we put out traps and sample the different bees that visit the different types of sites we have. I'm all done for the day, but earlier I took some video footage of what we do, and without further ado, check it out. So here we are at a high severity burn site that's been logged. High severity means a lot of the trees died in the fire, and of course this is a site where they chose to cut those trees down in a logging operation. As you can see, there's a lot of shrubs growing back, not a lot of shade. We're gonna go pick up the traps now and see what we caught here at this site. Alright, we made it. Here we are at our BVT trap. It's a very fancy T-post with, this is the BVT trap. And I guess insects are attracted to its neon colors here. What do we do? Oh, we see something in there. Nice. So yeah, it's been out here for 48 hours catching insects. So we just take it off this little jammer here and then snap these off. Now here's the important part. There's still some live bees in there, so we get super fancy shower cap. And you just want to put this on the top while you take this part out. And this just makes sure none of the bees fly out. Et voila! Here we are back at the truck. So I'm going to get those traps out of our bags. And we're going to pop this into our cooler, which we've stocked with dry ice, so it reaches freezing temperatures. I don't know if you can see in here some dry ice. And by the time we get to our next site, it'll be dead. So there's that part, and then we'll get to look inside. So these have had some time to freeze, so everything in here is now dead. It's really hard to identify bees that are alive, so sadly we have to kill them. Good. And we dump them along with the label we made into this Ziploc bag. And this bag will go to the lab where we'll pin all these insects and keep the data together, the when we picked them up and where. Throw those in there, make sure there's nothing left. And you can kind of see, let me spread these out a little, what we got. We got a lot of stuff. Looks like a lot of big bees, but also some smaller bees in there. A lot of bumblebees. A lot of bumblebees. Alright, this is a medium-high burn site, so there's been no logging here. But sometimes the severity of the burn had to do with what the forest was like before the fire. And here there's a lot of younger trees, as you can see, little stems. There's some big hardwood trees here. And you can see a lot of stuff is resprouting, a lot of the shrubs. And they're a lot taller than they were at the high severity site. And I've been noticing a lot more flowers here. There's some orchids and some schoolers' bluebells and some salal, which is a really it's a preferred plant by bumblebees at least. Here's our haul from the medium-high site. Looks like we got a lot of beetles in there. Here's the other bag too for reference. Some traps catch more at the site and some traps catch less, obviously, and that's why we put 2 out there. It's really hard to tell until we get to the lab and process these, you know, what we're seeing here. If we're seeing all of one species or a bunch of different species. And that's an important question that we're looking at. How is fire and logging affecting not just the amount of bees, but the diversity? So here we are at a low severity burn site, and as you can see, it almost looks like a fire never happened. There's a lot of trees, most of them are still alive, and they're bigger in diameter. So this forest was probably logged, but not for a very long time. And just from walking around here, I don't see a ton of flowers. And so far, it seems right off the bat that the bees we have caught are not, there's not very many. We have the contents of the low severity site, and as you can see, there's very few bees in here. Looks like we have, this is a bee, that's a little bumblebee, this is a fly, another fly, and that's it. And then the other trap from the same site fared a little bit better. There's some, it seems like a bunch of the same kind of stripy bee, maybe some sort of halictid, and some flies. So not a whole lot compared to the medium-high and the high-severity sites that we also visited. I hope you enjoyed that quick glimpse of us in the field. There's obviously a lot more than 3 forest types and a lot of other factors going on the landscape, but I'm going to leave it up to Mr. Saunders to take care of those questions. And if you have any questions about our bee project or anything I've talked about here, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Have a good summer. Cheers. Here's a little side perk to the job. Free wild berries. This is trailing blackberry. Yum. This is native, unlike your guys' Himalayan blackberry, which we also have down here, by the way. And that one looks done. Heck yeah.